Good evening and welcome to Linden Christian School's Senior Year's Information Night. My name is Andrew Fast and I'm the Senior Year's Vice Principal. And I have to say thank you so much for inviting us tonight to your home, into your living room. You know, on a normal night like this, we would invite you to our place to show you around, to talk to you, to visit with you. However, you know, with technology, we're thankful that we can still have a night like this and share information to you. My hope and prayer is that tonight, as you listen and hear and see the things that Linden Christian School has to offer, that you will see the why behind Linden Christian School, and that you as a family have information so that you can make an informed decision about next year. Throughout the night, we'll have some live segments. I'm live right now on location at the school, and also we'll have some videos to show you about student life and our values and mission. The evening's going to take about an hour. And at the end of the evening, we're going to have a question and answer period. And so throughout the whole presentation, if you would like to ask some questions, you can see in the webinar on the right, you have a chat box and you could plug in your questions there, and we'll hold on to those for the end of the evening. Before we start or go further, I'd like to open up with a word of prayer. So wherever you are in Winnipeg or beyond, please join with me in prayer. Dear God, thank you so much for this night, and I just thank you for the opportunity to share about Linden Christian School to families. And I ask that you help with the technology on our end and their end, that everything's clear and seamless, and it's a good experience tonight, and the information gets out. I pray for the families that are watching now and who are going to watch later, and that you give them wisdom and direction for their children, and if Linden Christian is the place for them. It's a big decision. And so we give you this night. All the glory goes back to you, God, in Jesus' name. Amen. So Linden is a school that is based on strong mission, vision, and values. And in this next video, our principal and CEO, Mr. Robert Charach, is going to share about Linden's mission, vision, and values. So here's the video.
Thank you for joining us to learn more about Linden Christian School. My name is Robert Charach, and I have the privilege of serving as the principal and CEO of Linden Christian School. This is my 21st year as an administrator at LCS and the 15th year as the principal. And I'm pleased to have this opportunity to tell you about our school. 34 years ago, Linden Christian began with 33 students and 3 staff. Today, there are over 960 students representing over 130 churches. 120 dedicated staff serve the school community. Linden is a K-12 school with 3 classes in each grade, and next year we are planning for grades 7, 10, and 11 to have 4 classes. Kindergarten will have 2 full-time classrooms and 1 part-time class, and our part-time kindergarten students will attend school on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Linden is a member of the Manitoba Federation of Independent Schools, and the MFIS represents over 14,000 students in our province. The school is also a member of the Association of Christian Schools International. Linden delivers education based on the Manitoba curriculum with biblical integration and a commitment to a standard of excellence in every discipline of study. Christian education allows for education of the whole child, intellectually, emotionally, physically, and spiritually. Kenneth Gangle, a writer, shares this important distinction about Christian education. The purpose of Christian schools is to present our children, as clearly as possible, the truth about God, about life, about our world and everything in it, and to present the Word of God as the authoritative source upon which to build a life that has purpose and meaning. This is a powerful statement that is foundational to what we believe at Linden Christian School and work to develop in our students. It is our desire to partner with parents to achieve this purpose. Now let's take a look at the foundational values that our school has been built on. First of all, our mission. Our mission outlines the school's purpose. With a commitment to excellence, Linden Christian School provides a Christ-centered education that equips students to love and serve God. And the vision, on the other hand, is a central part of what we are attempting to achieve. Linden Christian School will be a biblically based learning community where all students grow to be devoted followers of Christ, insightful thinkers, discerning decision makers, and compassionate community members. Your understanding and support of the vision is very important for a number of reasons. The decisions and choices that we make as school leaders are filtered through our vision. Our vision provides us with the meaning for what we do. Our vision acts as a compass bearing for the future, for guiding the school into the future. The vision of Linden Christian School sets it apart from other schools. Other schools have important missions and visions. However, they will be different from our own. A foundational part of our vision is supporting each student to grow to be a devoted follower of Christ. It is our hope that each one of our students will realize their potential and gifting so they can serve others and make a positive impact in our world. There's a biblical mandate for Christian parents to teach their child with a biblical worldview. And Linden Christian School can be an important support to that calling through the teachers and staff that promote healthy, supportive relationships throughout the school community. I like to say that the heart of a Christian school is the classroom, and the heart of every classroom is the teacher. All our teachers are committed followers of Christ, and they are committed to instructing, guiding, and mentoring their students. The impact of a godly role model is one of the most important aspects of a Christian education can offer. Each teacher becomes the living curriculum, representing the values and characteristics and traits that we want to develop in our students. This is particularly important during the early years when the core of the child's belief system is formed and will influence them the rest of their lives. Linden is a Christian school where students are encouraged to have a growing and meaningful relationship with God. And we have the freedom to use the scripture to inform instruction and to help students form a biblical worldview. Students are taught that placing Christ at the center of their lives is the path to a fulfilling and meaningful life. Weekly chapels in all divisions of the school build community through practical application of biblical principles and worship. Parents are always welcome to attend chapels, and throughout the school year, a number of special chapels and events are hosted for the school community. We encourage our students to live their faith in practical ways and to grow to be compassionate community members. Teachers, staff, and students work together to find age-appropriate outreach activities that honor our vision, impact lives, and teach our students to look beyond themselves. We believe that each child has gifts, and we want to see those gifts grow and mature. Our school has a strong focus on academic growth and spiritual development. Over 90% of our students go on to post-secondary education and are excelling in many different areas of study. In conclusion, Christian education is about parents, teachers, and leadership working together to achieve the goal of being truly educated. It is an investment in your children's future that I believe is well worth making. Linden Christian is committed to excellence and building a community where your children have the potential to thrive and develop relationships that will carry on with them into adulthood.
In the video you just saw, it highlights some of those reasons why Linden Christian is a special place. And, you know, when I was watching that just now, I'm reminded again of our strong focus on Christ. And our teachers, they operate out of this love, and they have badges for their courses, but their love for Christ compels them. And I get to see it from my viewpoint. I get to see it in action every single day. In the next video that you're going to see, it's going to highlight the student life at LCS. And this video was made in 2019. It gives you a good glimpse of some of those great activities that we do. And just on a side note, before we watch that, as I was preparing for this evening, I looked at some of my notes from last year's Senior Year's Info Night, just to see what the activities were and what I shared with the group last year. And so on a normal year, today and kind of this week, this is what would be happening. Our JV boys last year were in zone playoffs. Our JV girls were in zone playoffs. Our girls curling team was in Beausejour this week last year in a curling provincials. Our hockey team was in game 2 in Transcona in playoffs, and they won in the third period. Our Guatemala team, so we sent last year 21 students to Guatemala for 10 days, and they just got back, you know, the night before the Info Night last year. Our music students are in this week busy preparing for Optimist Festival, And we had a lot of parent meetings because last year and this year we had planned some big trips. We had a parent meeting this week last year of Cuba, Edmonton, Italy, and Greece, just to name some of the things that were going around the school last year. And on top of that, some of the great field trips and the in-class learning that we do. So this next video highlights some of that buzz and the student life. And so we're going to play that video for you right now.
And I am grade 12. Being a part of a Christian school, which is so cool, the community of just having people around you that support you in all life, I love that. And it's very cool to be surrounded by Christians. So like you want prayer for something, you can just go to any one of your friends, you can go to any one of the teachers and just ask for prayer, and they're more than happy to take time out of their day just to pray with you and just grow.
My name is Rob Charach, and I have the privilege to serve as the principal and CEO of Linden Christian School, and this is my 20th year in that role. Christian education really begins at the home, and a Christian school can come alongside and support families in that process. Linden is unique in that it is a K-12 school, so we have, in many cases, the privilege to see children develop right from kindergarten to grade 12.
I'm Malia Penner in grade 12. I came to Linden when I was in grade 4. The community is a really important part of LCS, I think, and because it's smaller than a lot of schools, that we can really have kind of a tight-knit community. And then also having the K-12, I think, is really special because when I was in like grade 4 and 5, I looked up to these high school kids and they were like these role models to me. And so I think it's really cool and important that now I can sort of be that role model to the younger students.
It really is about relationships with other students. A number of our students will carry these relationships right into university and later throughout their entire lives, and that is a wonderful thing. It's relationships with the teachers. You know, our teachers deeply care for their students, they support them, and they pray for them, and they interact with them. So that's a blessing.
My name is Dan Reeve, and I teach in the high school at Linden Christian School. The first thing that I think about when I think of the value of Christian education would be the foundation that students get, foundation of truth through God's word, through that teaching. I really enjoy just the relationships that we can make with students. And my prayer is that hopefully I can encourage them in their walk with Christ as well.
LCS has shaped my faith because I come every day into a faith-based community. When I was younger, it was vital I learned like the stories of the Bible, but as I've got older, then I can kind of have those conversations with teachers and with spiritual care counselors. And another thing that's definitely shaped my faith is there's a big focus on helping others, and even with this Christmas giving to St. Eden. So it's kind of shaped my faith into a way that's very focused on helping others, because I think that's what Jesus taught us, and I think I've learned that at Linden.
My name is Kevin Gilmore, and I teach high school English. I've taught here for 15 years. The community is one of love. My children, I have 3 daughters, they all come here now, and they started in the public school, and they all noticed a huge difference when they came here. Just the environment they're in, the feeling of freedom, safety, and love in the hallways, in the classrooms, from the teachers. So that's been great. Well, teaching English, a big thing that we do is critical thinking. So we like to do a lot of reading of Christian authors, non-Christian authors, and look for what truth is there, look for ways that the author is trying to speak that truth, looking for ways that we might see spin, to see bias. to look for how to think about what's really there, to look at what's between the lines. I would love to see our students equipped to kind of enter the world and still be a beacon of light wherever they're placed. I taught in public school for 4 years, and so, you know, it's a very different world, but being able to stand up for your faith, to really know what you believe, to know what it is that makes someone a follower of Christ and what that means, to know how to find truth out there in the world, that the world doesn't need to be a scary place, but it's a place where we can thrive.
I play hockey, so it's a very different community than this. So it was kind of an eye-opener when I got asked a bunch of questions like, so you guys believe in Jesus? I'm like, yeah, we that's kind of the basis of our faith. And they're like, who is he? Like, and they're genuinely asking me questions about, they've never heard this before. So it's kind of me being in those Bible classes, learning about the Bible has really helped me have a repertoire of answers for their questions. And it's very cool to have those experiences where you can just talk to people about the Bible and not have to worry about like, wait, was that true? Did I tell them like the right thing? Because like they've prepared me so well for that life.
We emphasize strong academics and spiritual development, and that is really foundation to what Linden is built on.
As a science teacher, we get to see the design of the natural world as we study. So something like the order of the universe we get to see, or the code or the information in DNA. And these things point to a design, which then points to a designer or the creator who is God. And I feel like it just gives such a natural opportunity to give him the glory for the things that he's made and recognize who he is through that design.
Academically, I feel prepared. I've heard of a lot of people who graduated from here coming like back and saying, yeah, like I was ready and I felt well prepared.
Ultimately, and the critical part is to encourage a relationship with God. Those relationships, student to student, student to teacher, teachers to families, and ultimately building the relationship with Jesus Christ is what our school's about.
For this next segment, by the way, I hope you enjoyed that. Every time I see that, I'm reminded of, once again, all the cool things that are taking place at Linden. For the next segment, I'm going to do a brief overview of the high school, and there'll be a slideshow playing beneath, and you can follow along there and just to highlight some of the things that are going on in the school. So at LCS, as communicated already, we offer a strong academic, athletic, and performing arts program. And it's founded on the strong relationships between staff, students, and parents. The curriculum we use is Manitoba curriculum. However, it's filtered through a biblical worldview in all our courses. As you probably understand that when students transition into high school, it becomes more academically challenging. And usually on a night like this, in the crowd and with the families, it's usually grade 8 families. And so if you're in middle school right now, this next little piece is going to be pretty important because I'm going to talk about what it's like to transition from middle years into senior years. Some of the things you're going to get used to is we do exams, online marks. There is an increase in expectations and assignments in the courses. There's more independence, and so we expect more of you too. And of course, there's the earning of credits. So what that means is through 9 through 12, every course that you take, you need a 50% or higher to get that credit. And all students are accumulating credits to graduate. In Manitoba, you need 30 credits, and at LCS, 34. And the reason we have 4 more than the province is 9 through 12, we have mandatory Bible throughout the high school. Each year, there are a number of mandatory courses that students need to take, as well as electives. And these are courses where students get to choose their direction and what they want to take. At LCS, we have a semester system. Most of our courses will finish in either end of January, end of June. However, there's some exceptions, and band and choir are one of those where those courses will go throughout the whole year. And just a note for the grade 8 families out there, in grade 9, we put together homerooms for grade 9s. And so those students will go to the core classes together as a group. I'd like to talk a little bit about some of the courses we offer at LCS. And right now we're going to get, on your right there, you'll see a document, graduation requirements, and you can download that right now. It'll be available the whole webinar, the whole presentation tonight. I will reference it, or you can follow on the slides just beneath. So in that slide that you're seeing right now, it shows all the grades and the mandatory classes that students require. So in 9, you can see a list all the way through 12. These are the courses you need to take. In grade 10, you can see there's different math courses. In 11 and 12, there's different social studies, science, and different courses that students in a different direction they can take. In the next slide, you can see the different electives. So these are courses that students can choose to take. In grade 9, students can take 3 electives. In grade 10, students can take up to 4. And then in grade 11 and 12, whatever fits the schedule, students can pour in as many as they want. And you can see that we've got a lot of options in 11 and 12. The last slide I'll show with courses. These are courses that we've started over the last couple of years, and we will offer them if there's interest. So, for example, in grade 9 this year, we started first time ever an electricity course, and we had a lot of interest. About 30, 40 students are taking it right now with Mr. Reeve, and who you saw in the video. And it's a hands-on course. They're learning about circuits, they're soldering. It's a great course. You'll see current topics in science. This is a project-based where students get a chance to research their own ideas, and they have time to do that. And just recently, we have different sport academies that we've introduced into Linden. So in grade 11 and 12, instead of doing regular phys ed, students can choose either to do a volleyball academy, basketball, or fitness. And these academies really are a focus for that sport for the students. So students get great coaching, elite coaching. They get extra hours in the gym, building their skill, and at the same time learning how to honor God with the skills that He's given them. So please carefully consider post-secondary ideas and dreams too as you decide what courses you're going to take. And we have an on-site career counselor, Mrs. Boguski, who would love to help you in that process. Now, 2 more things I want to share with academics. First, Mr. Charach already mentioned it, that approximately 95% of our students do go on to post-secondary institutions. And we get great feedback from alumni and those institutions that our students are very well prepared. The last thing I'll say is that, it's a lot of information, a lot of courses, and but we offer a lot of support. And we have a wonderful resource support department, a lot of EAs, and they're there to help students in their need, and they walk beside them as they move through some difficult courses and homework. And if you're an international student, we have a lot of support offered through our EAL department, and Mrs. Davison runs that department, and that's a place that you'll get a lot of wonderful support. I'm going to move now to talking about some of the departments and areas of the school. The first one is the Performing Arts department, and we offer drama, band, and choir, and a variety of enrichment courses such as vocal jazz, vocal ensemble, and jazz band. Our performing arts students enjoy different performance opportunities, concerts. They go to a lot of festivals, and in musical productions. And so this year we're doing kind of a hybrid of a musical, really excited about it. And next year, if restrictions allow, it will be potentially another musical year. So we're really excited about that. They also are, our music students and band students also enjoy serving locally in different venues, but also internationally. And I talked a little bit, I gave a little hint that last year our plan was to go to Cuba, and that is a grade 11 band choir trip. And 2 years ago, I had a chance to be on this trip, and it is a fabulous experience as our students got a chance not only to play and learn a little bit of Cuban music, but also to serve them in their schools and the students that are there. So I want to note too, for our performing arts classes, they are addition-based. So if you're interested, you do have to go through an addition. Within the phys ed program, we offer different options for courses and of course our teams. These photos show some of the sports that we offer: basketball, volleyball, hockey, curling, soccer. Some years we're able to offer ultimate frisbee, track and field. And you have to know, our coaches do a fantastic job, not only doing, excellent skill development, but also teaching our students, and really intentional with this, to use sports to honor and glorify God. Everything goes back to Him. And so it's been exciting to watch our athletes in action. This past fall, we had a new field built and playground. And for our senior year's phys ed program, this is a great thing because in this new project we have, you can see here, a basketball court. And to be honest, this is one of my favorite things in the school. And it's, in my opinion, one of the best outdoor courts in the city. And you can see in this picture, there's a baseball diamond, brand new soccer fields, and a fitness section where students can do circuits and training. And we've already used that in the fall. Next, I want to talk about our spiritual care and outreach team. They offer student support on the spiritual side. In senior years, we have chapels every Friday, every week, in which we have a chance to worship as a community and hear what God is saying through our spiritual care director, Josh Delzell, or guest speakers. Josh is our spiritual care director, and also involved is Tara Lee Friesen. And this time in chapel is incredibly valuable in building our community and also encouraging our students in their walk with God. They are also in charge of a Guatemala trip. And as I said last year, we sent 21 students into the jungles of Guatemala. And you can see some of the photos from that trip. It was an exceptional time for them. Finally, the last section I'll talk about here is our intentional building community. And this is a very high priority at LCS, and our spiritual care, our student, we call it STUCO. It's a student group that plans activities, our staff. We're all intentional on making this place a welcoming, a fun, a place to grow. And there's many different ways we try to do this through our chapels, our school events like Spirit Week, we have a Christmas formula. You're seeing some pictures from Mr. Kulik's electro worship set. It used gymnastics and music, and it was pretty awesome to see. And different opportunities to help our students grow with community. And one of my favorite events that we do is, if you don't know, we're attached to Grant Memorial Baptist Church, and they're seniors of the church. We partner about 90 of them with about 90 of our grads each year, and we have a fall luncheon and a spring luncheon. It's a time for them to gather together and to pray with each other and get to know one another. And throughout the year, it's so sweet, actually, to see our seniors writing notes and cards and our students doing the same thing back. So community is a big part of Linden Christian School. Now, next, we can't go on a real tour with you, and so we're going to show you a video. It's a virtual tour of some of the senior year spaces, so enjoy.
Hello everyone, my name is Andrew Fast, and I'm the senior year's vice principal here at Linden Christian School. It's my privilege to take you on a virtual tour, and so follow me. I do realize that this approach is a little bit different. I would way rather take you in person around the school, but I hope that through this virtual tour you will see the locations your children will be, and you'll get a sense of the awesome things and the aspects of Linden Christian School can offer. So in this wing, we have Bible, ELA, Law, Geo, and Social Studies taught. And in all of these courses, teachers strive to equip our students to think critically, to communicate effectively, and prepare them for a world where opinions are everywhere and deeper meaning is often very hard to find. Our teachers love the opportunity to help students become devoted followers of Christ, insightful thinkers, discerning decision makers, and compassionate community members in this world. And this is truly evident in these courses with these teachers and in this wing. So we're in the band room right now, and at LCS we have a band room like this, and we have a choir room where students take part in our performing arts community. In band, we offer a band course, a jazz band, and choir, vocal ensemble, vocal jazz, and a large group choir. Our performing arts team are an amazing group of teachers, and students not only have wonderful opportunities to perform at concerts and festivals, they also get to go travel internationally and across Canada. Our recent trips were Edmonton, Banff, and Cuba. And great news, next year could be a musical year if everything goes well. So students will have an opportunity to be involved in many different ways in the performing arts community. The goal of the department is to equip our musicians and actors with the desire and confidence and skills required to continue to use their God-given gifts after high school, and to encourage in them the development of Christ-like character required to impact the world. So this is our art room, and to be honest, it's one of my favorite places in the school. Art is an elective course available here for our grades 9 to 12. In these courses, we aim to help the students develop a growth mindset. Students are given exposure to a wide variety of art styles: watercolor, landscapes, architectural drawings in ink, and hand-built ceramic creations. We also teach the students art appreciation and art theory. By building their skills and guiding them through the artistic process, we hope to help them discover their God-given talents and learn to express themselves visually, whether this becomes their ultimate professional career or just a hobby that gives them joy the rest of their lives. So here's your art. Before we move on, I wanted to stop here at the Spiritual Care and Campus Life offices. And here we have Josh Delzell and Tara-Lee Friesen. And these two run this office, and it's a place where students can come and get direction, guidance, prayer. There's Bible studies that are run from this office. Students also have a chance to get involved with the worship teams. And one of the big trips that the Spiritual Care plans is the service trip to Guatemala, which allows students to have amazing opportunities, not only locally, but also internationally. So here is our science lab, and this was built in 2018, and we're really proud of it. An amazing space to explore the wonders of creation through biology, chemistry, physics, and our other science courses. Teaching science in a Christian environment allows us to cover topics with students from a Christian worldview. We are free to explore the nature of science and human endeavors within an environment that agrees with biblical values, and that's a unique privilege. In grades 9 and 10, students take more of an overview of science: chemistry, physics, biology, space, and earth sciences. And in grade 11 and 12, our students choose different streams: the chemistry, biology, and physics. And this state-of-the-art lab is a great place to explore those passions, and students get a chance to work with amazing equipment. So this is our EAL room. And if you're an international student, this is where you would come for support for academics, homework missing, assignments that need to be done. And the team in this room just loves these students. We have many international students, as you can see, from all around the world. And this is a wonderful place for them to come here and get that support and needed help in their homework assignments and in their courses. So this is our sanctuary. And for me, this is the heart of our community. This is where our students come and gather to hear from God, to worship, to perform in concerts or musicals. And it really is a very important place where we come together as a community. This space is called the South Hall. And it's where the grade 11 and 12 students come to have lunch, socialize, or study. As well, all of our students get a chance to access the Grant Cafe, which offers a large variety of lunch and snack options. It really is a beautiful space for our community. Just made it. This is our gym, the heart of our athletic program. God gave us our bodies and we need to keep them healthy. And at LCS, we follow the Manitoba curriculum. In grade 9 and 10, PE is all year course every second day. And in grade 11 and 12, it's a combination of in-class and out-of-class courses. Another exciting feature we have here at LCS is our 3 academies, volleyball, basketball, and fitness, which will be running next year. We are members of Zone 12 and participate in many MHSAA provincial championships. Sports at Linden is a big deal, and our teams that we have going, golf, volleyball, basketball, hockey, curling, badminton, soccer, and track and field. So we have a wide variety of options for students and for you. So thank you for joining me on this virtual tour. And also thank you for considering Linden Christian School for your senior year student. Have a great night.
I hope you enjoyed that tour. And I won't tell you how many takes it took for me to score that hoop. Actually, it was only 2, so it wasn't too bad. We have a few resources that we're going to share with you right now, so you're going to see them populate the right side of your screen. The first one is going to be our tuition schedule. So that's going to, there it is, popped up right there. The next one is our School of Fine Arts. We call that SOFA. And so if you're a student that has musical lessons, you can do that on site. We have this program where it has teachers that teach flute and piano and voice and guitar. So you can do that all during the school day. And so that's a wonderful program. You'd want to check that out. We have a document course descriptions for all our senior year courses. And it's a little more detail maybe than what I explained. Each one has a little paragraph. And so especially for those elective courses, you'll want to take a look to see a little bit more what they are going to be teaching. Math requirements is going to also be shared with you. And there's a document called Other Credits. And so students can also get credits in work experience and volunteer and also music. So like piano, you can get some credits. And so there's another document that you can download, which I just saw populate just now. So feel free to download any of those documents. And so they'll be available the whole webinar. And if you have any questions about that, please contact the school. So next I want to introduce to you our admissions officer, Joanne Ritchie. And Mrs. Ritchie will explain the application process at Linden Christian School.
Hello, my name is Joanne Ritchie, and I'm the admissions officer here at Linden Christian School. Thank you for taking the time to be with us. If you are interested in knowing more about the application process, come and join me in my office, and I'll be happy to walk you through the 6 steps in completing a new student application. One way to start your exploration of LCS is by contacting the admissions office. You can call area code 204-989-6739 or email admissions@lindenchristian.org. And I will be happy to assist you with any questions that you have regarding the application process. Step 1. We have recently launched an online application platform. If you are a new family to the school, you will need to visit lindenchristian.org to create an LCS application account. There is a $100 non-refundable application fee, and please note that a credit card is required to complete the online application process. Step 2. Once logged into your account, click on the Apply Now button to fill out the application. You can save your progress at any time and come back to complete and submit the form. A paper application is available from the main school office or online at lindenchristian.org under the Admissions tab. You can download an application form and submit the completed document to the admissions office by mail or by using the LCS drop box located outside the main school entrance doors from Monday through Friday, 7:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. Step 3. Ensure the supporting materials are included with your paper or online application. If you are applying online, you will need to upload digital copies of the following documents: birth certificate or passport, current photo of student, most recent report card, if applicable, most recent high school transcript, if applicable, and legal custody documents, again, if applicable. Step 4. Once the application has been received, an interview with a vice principal will be scheduled. At this time, all interviews will be done virtually through Google Meet or Skype. Interviews for kindergarten and early years will start in January to March, and interviews for grades 5 to 12 will begin in February through April. This happens after our re-registration process for our current school families. Both parents should accompany the student for the interview. Questions are asked to determine the educational needs of your child, as well as spiritual and social aspects of your child's education. The interview is also a great opportunity for you to ask any further questions you might have about the school. Step 5. Once the determination has been made about student acceptance, the decision will be conveyed to you. You can expect to hear from the admissions office in April via email or by phone call. In instances where Linden is not able to place your child, you will receive an email stating we cannot proceed further with the application. In some instances, it may be possible to place the application on a wait list. Applications are transferable for 1 year. Step 6. Registration. In the case of student acceptance, a letter of acceptance and a registration package will be emailed to you from the admissions office for you to complete and return. Thank you for your interest in Linden Christian School. I look forward to connecting with you in the days ahead. At the end of this event, you will be taken directly to the online application. Thanks for visiting the admissions.
So now it comes time for a period of question and answers, and we've been monitoring the questions. And so if you haven't typed your question or haven't been answered in the chat yet, you can do that now at the bottom, and I'll do my best to make my way through some of these questions. There's a lot of good ones already. So I'm going to start right away, and here's the first one. And you should see popped up in your window there the question, what are technology requirements for students? And so at Linden for High School, it is a BYOD, which means bring your own device. And so students are expected to bring a laptop. And Chromebooks work fine. In fact, they work great with our system. And we would give the students access to Wi-Fi, so they'd have the Wi-Fi here. And our teachers operate a Google platform, so courses are run through Google Classroom, and so communication between teacher and student are through Google Classroom, as well as parents. You have the opportunity to get updates and notifications weekly or daily. It's up to you. So that is what students need. Another good question here. What does chapel look like? And that's a great question. Today we had a chapel. So usually we have chapels on Fridays, but with our cohorts and COVID, we have chapels now Thursdays and Fridays. So this morning, just to give you an idea, at 10:30, all the students, grade 9 to 12, come to the chapel. There's music pumping, and it's excitable, and it's high energy. We usually have a student worship team, and so students prepare the worship and lead our students. And then Josh Delzell or a guest speaker will share their heart. And so today, the topic was prayer. And so we started that segment with saying the Lord's Prayer together, and we made it more individual for the students. And then Josh shared what it's like when we let God into our prayer life. and how he changes our life and how we talk with each other and how we care for each other. So it was a great chapel. Sometimes chapel, we use that for announcements or some fun community events, but mostly it's a time to encourage the kids in their faith with God. And sometimes we have K-12 chapels, Remembrance Day, Easter, and you're invited to attend those, and our regular chapels as well to see what's going on. A question about provincial exams compared to other schools. I looked at some of our data a couple of weeks ago. We had an exam week at the end of January when our semester ended, and I just wanted to see our results in the past couple of years. So in grade 12, there are math provincial exams, and there are ELA English language exams. Now this year they've been canceled by the government, but on a typical year, LCS students, now this is from the last 10 years of data, we're typically about 8% to 22% higher than provincial average. So that just says that our students are well prepared and they take it seriously. So about 8 to 12%, or 8 to 22% above provincial answer averages. Here's a good question about athletics. And so I've talked a little bit about the sports teams that we have. I noticed I forgot to say golf. We have a golf team as well that does really well in provincials. So our program, though, what I want to share on this one, and maybe if I didn't answer your question, maybe ask another one, our academies really feed into our athletic program. So our phys ed program, we train, and it is a blessing to have younger students all the way from kindergarten to 12 and develop the skills in sports. And our academies are doing that as well. So with a focus of volleyball, basketball, or fitness, our students are getting a lot of sports, a lot of development, and it translates to on the team. So we're pretty excited about that. This is a great question too. Does the high school run on a semester system or 6-day system? The answer is both. So we follow the provincial every other school's 6-day cycle, and also a semester system, which ends at the end of January and at the end of June. So when do students sign up for their courses and electives? That takes place for our current students. We usually get the first impressions of what they want to do after spring break into April. And then we make sure that they have the courses they need by approximately August. For new students, it depends on the application process and when our interview is, as Mrs. Ritchie talked about. And usually in summer, we hone in on any new students' courses. And then that a week before school starts, we would meet with our new students and make sure that they have the courses that they need. Are the high school students in the school this year or working from home? So this is a little bit of both. As you know, COVID has given us a lot of restrictions and guidelines. And so in the fall, we had to move to a cohort system where we split every grade into 2 cohorts. So cohort 1 would come on day 1, 3, 5, cohort 2, 2, 4, 6. And so what that means is that on day 1, 3, 5, that cohort comes on site. And so they in-class learning. And then the next day, at day 2, 4, 6, that cohort would stay home. And our teachers have prepared meaningful work. And then that cohort 2 would be on site as one's at home. So it's kind of a mix. And we've had to do this so that our classes have the space, the 2-meter distance, so that we can social distance and keep our students safe during this time. Every single info night we get this. So some of the heart of this question is if we have uniforms. We don't have uniforms, but we do have a dress code. And the guidelines, we have our student handbook on our website, so you can check some of the guidelines for a dress code. But the heart of our dress code is for our students to dress modestly, appropriately, and be respectful. Our building is not just the high school. We have K-12 Our older students are examples for our younger ones. And we also have a church attached to us. And on a normal year, we have church members, we have seniors coming in, and different programs the church runs. So we want to maintain that modesty and respectful dress as we move forward. So this is a great question. And what characteristics describe graduates from Linden? And the timing of this question is interesting. Just this week, we as a staff got together on Tuesday. It was one of our PD days. And we worked together to find biblical support for 7 words that we want our grads to leave with. And so I'll give you a small preview. So a Linden grad, starting like right now, we're just working through this right now, is going to be a person that is discerning. A Linden grad is going to be a person that has compassion. A Linden grad is going to be someone that's innovative, courageous, a Christ follower, and many more committed to excellence. And so we're working on these traits, and we want our students, and we want to partner. To me, it's a partnership with parents. And so when you drop your students off at Linden, it's not like you're done now and you just go, your way. It's a partnership with you, and we want to grow your kids with you with these characteristics. And we're going to release this to the public soon, but it is a partnership, and we're excited to keep working at these characteristics. Does volleyball run year-round? No, it starts in the fall and then ends usually in November, December during provincials and playoffs. I know there's a club. I don't know this question if you're a club player, so club kind of takes over after Christmas. However, if a student's in volleyball academy, we would take a little break during playoffs, and then in spring again, we would start that volleyball academy again. The focus would be indoor volleyball, but also beach. And so last year we were just about to go kind of focus on our beach volleyball skills before COVID hit, and we had to obviously shut down that program. So in a way, there's a little bit snippets of all year, but a team, no, it's just from September to the end of November. Great question. Do you typically have a large number of new students join LCS? I would say grade 9 is our biggest influx year. And of the families that are watching right now, I would guess that about 80% of the families are grade 8 families. And so, for instance, last year we had about 25 new grade 9 students. The year before, the same amount. And we're hoping for about 25. So it definitely, the grade 8s at Linden that are moving up to grade 9, it definitely changes the dynamics a bit in a great way. And classes are made, so there's a lot of new students. And if some of you right now watching have students we try really hard to partner you with students so you don't feel too alone. But this person asked, do the students integrate socially? We usually assign a student buddy for the first week. We have a little new student orientation where we make sure you feel comfortable around the school. We walk you to your first class. And in grade 9, we really try to build a community in the first 2 weeks. We have a grade 9 community day where we take the students out to Camp Assiniboine. We do zip lining. We do some team building things. So we do our best to integrate them socially as best we can. And one thing that I do, I touch base with our new families and just see how's Jesse doing and how's Jamie doing? What can we do to support them? Have they found somebody yet? And so we do try really hard to make sure nobody falls through the cracks, especially our new students. Do you have preschool and or after school club activities? If yes, at what times? Now, we don't have club activities, if this is meaning sports. We have drama clubs. We improv, sometimes we have improv after school, but most of our activities are the sports at this time after school, the extracurricular. Our clubs happen within our school hours. So in the past, we've had chess club, We've had an outdoor club and different clubs like that happen within the school hours. And then our sports extracurricular stuff happens on the outside of those hours. So, and our sports can go all the way to 9 o'clock. We're having practices here. And some of our morning practices start at 7:30. So yeah, I hope that answers that question. This is a great question too, because with more students coming from grade 8 to 9, there's more new students and more maybe ways to connect with the newbies coming in. And we do have, just to say though, in grade 10, 11, 12, we do have a good number coming in for those grades. And for the 10, 11, and 12s, we have kind of an extra student orientation. And just to make sure they feel comfortable, like I said, and are connected to Wi-Fi, they have their locker, and we make sure that there's somebody for you that first day that you can connect with. And our Stuco is informed of who you are and our teachers. And, it's, coming to a new school in grade 12, 11, it's not going to be the easiest thing, but we do try to make the experience as painless as possible. And I got to tell you that in the past couple of years, I've seen lots come in for just grade 12, lots starting in grade 11, and they've had absolutely fantastic experiences. So I hope that answers that question. Where do grade 9s eat their lunch? Right now in COVID, so there's different things that we're doing to keep our students safe with COVID. And with our cohorts, there's different wings in the school for different grades. So right now, the grade 9s, we have a whole wing for them, and they kind of do most of their courses there, the core courses. Teachers come to them, and that's their lunch area too. Students also have the freedom to go off campus, and Linden is situated in a great spot. We got Timmy's across the street. We got A&W, a little walk. We got Husky, Subway. And if they have older brothers and sisters, you got McDonald's down the street and the Kia for some meatballs or whatever you want there. But typically grade 9s would have a whole wing. On a normal year, same idea, grade 9s would have a whole wing to themselves, and then a little bit of other hallway space, and then obviously the freedom to go off-site. And I'm just running through the questions here. Here's one, I've talked a little bit about COVID. So this year, just to give you just a small picture of how the school looks, and, we're hoping and praying that restrictions relax, and, code green would look really awesome right now for the province and our school. If some of these restrictions go into the new year, here are some of the things that we probably will have to do, and we'll definitely inform our community. Cohorts. So the first thing that we did in last year when we were preparing for the year is to split our students into 2 cohorts. And that also has implications to the classes, the wings they're in, and the days they're on site. Cleaning, our cleaning regimen has been picked up, and our cleaning staff, we got more cleaning staff this year, and they do a great job keeping the place clean, and they do a lot of work. And also just in our classrooms, because we've done cohorts, we have less students on site, so we're able to distance in every class at least 2 meters, and so students are safe that way. And then in the lunch and spare, every cohort has their own lunch space and spare space, and so we make sure that distancing, and we got a lot of supervision right now just to remind students for spacing and to encourage them. And we have had no community spread at Linden and no outbreaks, and so we praise God for that. And as a community watching, please pray that restrictions relax so we can go back to the student life you saw, and the cool activities that we can offer here and your kids. I think this will be maybe one of the last questions. I've made my way through most of them, and the evening's getting on here, so I don't want to take too long. Any other question, we'll answer a different way, and if you want to email the school, we'll get those ones too. What is your student to teacher ratio right now with cohorts? It's awesome. It's 1 to 6 And then the biggest class right now we have at the course is about 12, 13. So we have classes of 6 all the way to 13 on a regular year. Classes depending on the electives and the scheduling. Usually our grade 9s are 22, 23, around there. And then in grade 11 and 12, sometimes they do get up to 27, 26. But usually they're below 25. And like this year, it's under 15 for our classes. So I think I'll end the question period now and the evening and close it. And I just want to say thank you for joining us. It's been a little bit different this year doing it this way, but I do appreciate you inviting us in and giving us a chance to share with you. Feel free to reach out to your admissions officer, Joanne Ritchie, at admissions@lindenchristian.org with any follow-up questions. And before you leave, don't forget to download those handouts on the right. And once this event ends, you'll be directed to an online application portal where you can create your own account. It's pretty easy to do if you are ready to take that next step. So thanks again. Have a wonderful evening. And God bless you and God bless your family as you maybe take some time to think about this. And I'm looking forward to meeting anybody that is interested. So God bless. Good night.